Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, I'm going to show you how you could potentially get this horrible Mysterio boss down with a 4-star Archangel in about 6 to 7 revives. Now, I am trying to remain positive and optimistic and encourage players who are maybe don't have all the right 5 and 6-star champions that make this fight the easiest for a 1 to 2 revive kill or maybe even a solo. But I might make a video on my thoughts and opinions on this. Now the key with this is you want to leave a poison active. Now here you can see it's ticking for 700 and something until the poison is no longer there. It starts ticking 95 because you need the poison active to deal max damage. So the problem with that is if you only have one poison when you throw a heavy attack, you're going to remove the poison and convert into neurotoxins. So the ideal for this fight is to always have more than one poison active or have a bunch of bleeds on and at least one poison before you parry so that when you parry, you'll have a second poison and then that heavy attack will only remove one of the poison debuffs so that you can constantly be dealing max damage. After he throws a special one, I typically like to counter with a heavy attack so I can get some bleed stacks on. So that way when it's time for me to parry, I will have a better chance of getting a poison and then automatically can start converting it into neurotoxins and then comboing on a special one as often as possible. And you're going to want to try a few times to get a really good start on the beginning of this fight because sometimes the poison RNG and the neurotoxin RNG is not in your favor. But you can see you can make this fight go on quite long if you just play patiently and try to, work on spacing and stuff. So now we're at about 90%. We're throwing another special one. We don't have any poisons active at this time, so we're not really getting very good damage. And so, again, the goal is going to be to try to get poisons up as often and as quickly as you can. And sometimes I actually parry once and then back off because that will allow me to have at least 2 poisons active at a time. And once again, I converted my last poison, so now the damage is very minimal. And so now I have 4 bleeds on, and I'm baiting out a special attack, and then I'm chaining on another heavy to get those bleeds up again. So now when I parry or throw my special one, I have a better chance of getting those poisons triggered. Now that I had 1 poison active, the parry put on a second, so then when I threw the heavy attack, I would still have 1 poison active, and that allows me to continue dealing as much damage as possible. And now I was waiting for that damage reflection to go down, and then I threw the special one. And sometimes the stun can be very helpful for you, but in this fight, because you very frequently want to bait out specials and do it in a timely manner so you don't get poisoned, you sometimes get in trouble when you have lots of neurotoxins expiring and stunning frequently. And I could have gotten a little bit more out of this fight. You can see we're down to, I think, 86 or 88% now. We get him down to 86% before I end up dying. But even at 6%, without doing any more parries, I was still able to get some decent damage in, take a couple more percent off. So when you play well, you can put in some good work with this 4-star Archangel. But I messed up right there, timed the dex wrong, and so I died. And this is another clip where I did a test run as well. I did several times. I was easily able to get 10% down, but I struggled to get to 15 because I just kept making mistakes. And so if you're a very good player, you'll be pleasantly surprised that you can take this guy down in less revives, even with a 4-star Archangel. This clip, I had some particularly good RNG. And so in a couple rounds of special ones and neurotoxins, I actually got 10% down very quickly, like within less than a minute of time. So we have 4 poisons on now. So that means I can do several heavy attacks and try to get as many neurotoxins as possible. We have 3 neurotoxins up now and 3 poisons still active. And then I bait out a special attack, and again I counter with a heavy attack to put some bleeds on. The RNG was not in my favor at that time. I ended up having to bait out another special attack, so now I have a special 2, but I messed up and got hit, so that really kind of screwed up my plans a little bit. So I go in and throw a heavy attack, chain on a special 2, and we're up to 3 poisons again. So we have time to chain on multiple heavy attacks back to back and hope for some really good neurotoxin RNG, and I will still have poisons active throughout the duration here. So now we have 6 neurotoxins active, and we're getting full damage from it because I have the poisons active. But then we convert our last poison right at the end there, and now you can see how all the stuns from the expiring neurotoxins can can really get in the way of you trying to bait out special attacks. And it can last a long time if you've put on a lot of neurotoxins, which means you have less time to bait out special attacks, and then that poison timer gets ever closer, and that's what killed me in this clip. But we still got 10% down. And then again, I just want to show this clip again where I got 14% down in one run with my 4-star Archangel after about 20 to 30 minutes of practicing. So if you are really dedicated and you want to put in the effort, you could actually farm out 6 to 7 or even up to 10 revives before this ends, and you could knock this out with a 4-star Archangel. So put in the time, put in the practice, and just get it done if that is something you want. But if it's not, that's totally fine if this fight is out of your scope or out of your desire to actually do and get done, because this was created for the end game players with nothing left to do, the top tier, and those that really wanted a challenge and something to use their items and to use their many champions that they have invested in over the years. So if you do take on the challenge, good luck. I do hope this video is helpful, and I do hope to see you in the next video.